an incredible 3 days exploring the colourful city of Istanbul, we grabbed our rental car and hit the highways, making our way down the Turkish coast. We spent 2 nights in the charming seaside town of Alacati, which completely blew us away and turned out to be a hidden gem, before we wound down the coast towards Ölüdeniz, where we'd go snorkeling in the Blue Lagoon and even spy some turtles in the most mind-blowing blue water. It was also the launch point to exploring the incredible Butterfly Valley, which just completely blew me away. Our last stop on the road trip was Kaş, where we explored this incredible coastline by boat. We're Liv and Luke, aka the Happy Travellers, a married couple from South Africa, and we can't wait to show you our adventure road tripping Turkey's Turquoise Coast.
Good evening, guys. So we are in Alacati or Alacati, depending on your pronunciation. We arrived yesterday.
Everything's a bit short and
Everything
talky.
is a bit too short for a 6'5" me, but we persevere. So we are in Alacati, a cute pedestrianized town about 5 hours drive south of Istanbul. And yeah, we arrived yesterday and it is absolutely beautiful. We have spent today just exploring the town. It is just beautiful cobblestone streets.
So we're here at Ilica Beach, which is about a 5-minute drive from Alacati town. It's a really big, beautiful, white, sandy beach, and you can hire an umbrella for about 250 lira, and there's an auto park just up the road for 150 lira for the day. It's a really stunning beach with beautiful, beautiful water for swimming, and just across the way you can have a look and see the Greek islands. We are now back on the road after an amazing 2 days and in Alacati. So we basically we're doing this big road trip down towards the Turquoise Coast of Turkey, which is like the Oludeniz, Fethiye, Butterfly Valley, Kaş area. And yeah, we basically just needed a place to stay for a night or two to break up the journey, because it was like a 10-hour drive down from Istanbul to Oludeniz. And yeah, I did like a little bit of Pinterest searching, and I found this one random post from somebody about this little town called Alacati, saying that it was like really cute and everything. And honestly, other than that, I couldn't find that much about it online. But we decided to book it, and oh my goodness, we've been blown away. It's been such an amazing little hidden gem that we found. So we had such an amazing, like, unexpected surprise in Alacati. We stayed at Maison d'Azur Alacati, which I can 10 out of 10 recommend. Such a cute, charming boutique hotel. The rooms were really beautifully done, little like outside balcony sort of area, and the breakfasts, oh my goodness. If you only go there for the breakfasts, it's worth it. It's like this full-on spread of olives and breads and just everything, but like a proper delicious Turkish breakfast every single day. Anyway, we had the most amazing time. Today we're back on the road and heading off to Oludeniz. Good morning. We are coming to you from Oludeniz on the Turquoise Coast of Turkey. So we drove here yesterday. It was about a 5.5-hour drive from Alacati. And yeah, we arrived. It's like a little town just after Fethiye, which is a much bigger town. Although it does seem like Oludeniz has become quite, very touristed in the past few years and quite built up. So my parents were here like 30 years ago, and they say from the pictures it looks very, very different now, which is obviously to be expected. But yeah, we're here on our first day. We just went for a swim last night at the beach, and this morning we've come to the lagoon. So to get in, it's 50 lira per person to come in, which is like 25 rand, so very chilled. You can pay cash or card. And yeah, now we're just walking along this road to the lagoon, where we're hoping to do some snorkeling, some tanning. We bought ourselves a beach umbrella because it's quite pricey to rent here, so we just bought one for the next week or so that we're going to be on the Turkish coast. Anyway, yeah, come along with us and we can show you the Oludeniz Blue Lagoon.
We are at the Ölüdeniz Blue Lagoon.
Look at it!
It's incredible. Lovely, lovely cool water. A bit of freezing water at the bottom, surprisingly. So I think we'll be staying close to the top. But yeah, we're off on a little adventure across the lagoon to see what we can find.
We just saw a turtle, 2 turtles. I dived down and I saw one swimming underneath, so I swam towards it. And then as I was getting near it, another one came in from the top. And then I called Luke and we both got to swim with it. But wow, like, look at this place. It's just like the most beautiful turquoise blue waters. And you get to swim with turtles. Guys, we're at Butterfly Valley. We're at Butterfly Valley and oh my goodness, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in the whole world. It's every single trip has that one place that you once saw a photo of that made you go, okay, I want to go there. And then you plan your whole trip around that place. For me, that is Butterfly Valley. I saw a photo of this back in 2017 and ever since it's been on my Pinterest board, it's been on my bucket list, and the whole reason we're here in Turkey is because of this place. So just look at it. Wow. Morning everybody, we're at Oludeniz Beach.
Morning. So we have just checked out of our hotel and we are about to hop on a little taxi boat all the way to Butterfly Valley, a few bays down. We did our sketchy drive yesterday up to the top of the viewpoint to have a look down on the bay, and after seeing that we decided we have to do this. So we've done an early checkout of the hotel and we are hopping on this taxi boat in half an hour to head out to Butterfly Valley.
Yeah, so with Butterfly Valley you've got quite a few options. There are loads of boats, I'll show you. Literally loads of big like tour, they're called galette boats, the big ones. They kind of look like pirate ships. Anyway, but basically those are like the kind of classic tours that you would book, and with those we've seen ones from like €15 each per person. And it's like a half-day trip, and you basically go around you go to Butterfly Valley, but then you also go to like a bunch of different places. Like there's Aquarium Bay and like some sea caves and stuff, which is really, really cool. But you're probably only going to spend like half an hour at Butterfly Valley, which, yeah, we were keen to kind of do like a little bit more of a slower, authentic pace. So we got our tickets. You just go to, it's like halfway down the beach, and there's a guy, and it says like "Come Go Butterfly Valley Shuttle Boat" is basically like what the sign says, and you'll pay 400 lira per person, and that takes you there and then brings you back. The first boat leaves at 11 o'clock in the morning, which is a little bit later than we would have liked, and then they come back at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Yeah, and also like, just so you know, you can also camp on Butterfly Valley Beach. It was something we were thinking about doing, but we didn't really have enough time to do it, but looks really, really cool, very authentic, fun experience. So with that, what you would do is you would go and get your shuttle tickets, go there on one day, spend a couple of nights, and then get the shuttle back. So that's kind of what the shuttle's for. But yeah, we're gonna go and spend a couple of hours on the beach today, and we'll take you along with us.
Like where we started, like at our feet, there's this random pine tree that's just growing in the side of the rock.
It's crazy. And how's this viz? Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's incredible. The blue is just incredible.
And we've seen like these pipefish, loads of pipefish, and oh, wow. Some days lunch looks like this.
It's a bit loud at first, but It is absolutely beautiful. One of the most incredible beaches I've ever seen. The water is so clear, so refreshing, and yeah.
Where we at?
I don't know actually.
We're driving between Ölüdeniz and Kaş. So we went on our boat trip to Butterfly Valley this morning, and then we hopped in the car and yeah, are basically driving. It's like just under 2-hour drive between Oludeniz and Kaş, and yeah, we're gonna check into our accommodation and then check out all the amazing beaches here. Hello,
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Where we at?
We are at the Kaputaş beach, about 20 minutes out of Kaş. I think we told you about this yesterday as we were driving by, but here we are. It is beautiful, it is busy, it is hot, but overall lovely.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful beach. It's also free to come to. You can rent a sunbed and an umbrella for 150 lira each. Again, we're very happy with our little umbrella that we bought for 650 lira a little while ago. If you're wanting this shot, I'll insert that now. But there's like an Insta famous sort of shot. You want to come here more in the morning. That's going to be the right lighting for that photo. Anyway, we're here, it's beautiful, and the water is just the most insane blue.
Morning.
Today is looking a little bit different. We are on the most gorgeous boat. We're in Kaş and we are heading out for 8 hours of sailing around the coast. We're going to go to islands, we're going to go to bays, we're going to go diving. It's going to be amazing. This experience, we booked it through Get Your Guide, and what's really nice about it is there are a lot of tours that go to Kokova Island, which is like the sunken city where you go and you dive this ancient city that's kind of been gone under. But what's cool about this is it's basically private, like it's a maximum of 6 people that can book. So today it's just us and another couple. So we've basically got this like private boat all to ourselves. Anyway, all sponsored by Get Your Guide, and we can't wait to show you the adventure. rubber rings.
Thank you.
We wouldn't be in Turkey if we didn't get a cup of tea after our first swim on the boat.
Not a bad spot.
Good evening.
We are at the Antipholos Amphitheatre in Kaş. It's a Hellenistic
theatre, which
You don't know what that means?
yeah, I'm not totally sure, but it's basically like a stepped amphitheatre. It's quite steep, and you look down onto a stage, and there's like this sort of film space set up where it looks like they do like a film festival here. But yeah, it's a really, really stunning spot with beautiful panoramic views of the Kaş bay area. You could see the peninsulas and the islands, and yeah, it's a great place to come around sunset time. Well, we tried to come for sunset, but sunset's a little bit earlier here than what Google says. So make sure you come a little bit earlier and check it out for sunset.
Yeah.
So we've just been making our way up from Kaş all the way up to Istanbul. We had a stopover last night in Pamukkale, which was a really, really cool place to stop over. I would definitely recommend making the trip there. So it was like a 4-hour drive from Kaş and the perfect sort of halfway stop on our way back up to Istanbul, where we're going to be dropping the car off. And basically Pamukkale is centered around this national park, which has these travertines, which is basically like this sort of whitewash. It's kind of hard to describe. I'll show you videos of it, but basically it's like whitewashed pools of water that kind of cascade down this big mountainside, and it's really just something quite spectacular to see. And yeah, so your entrance fee is 30 euros, so it's quite a steep one, but definitely worth it, and that gives you access to the whole park, which is the travertines where you can walk and you can have a swim in the pools. It's kind of like this limestone, sulfurous. It's really strange. I'll show you videos. And then you also have access to all of the ruins that are around. So there's the Hierapolis, there's an ancient amphitheatre, like Roman columns, and yeah, just really stunning ruins. And then there's also really, really hot, and secondly, all the tour buses are there during the day, and it's actually a lovely spot to experience during sunset. So by sunset, all of the tour buses have left, which is amazing, and you semi have the pools to yourself. There are definitely still a lot of people, but it's a lot less crowded than that sort of midday peak with all the tour buses. Last Turkish breakfast in Turkey.
So as you know, we've been driving in a rental car around Turkey for the past 10 days or so, and driving in Turkey was probably the thing that I was most nervous about before this trip, and ultimately it's turned out to be really enjoyable and actually quite easy, to be honest. The majority of the Turkish highways are split down the middle, so you don't have to think about what side of the road you're driving on. So in Turkey we drive here on the right hand side of the road, whereas in South Africa it's on the left hand side, and the driver's seat is on the opposite side of the car, which is a bit of an adjustment, mainly just trying to figure out what side your gear shift is on. So it's now using your right hand, but thankfully the accelerator, clutch and brake are all where they're meant to be, so that's an easy thing to get used to. So driving on the highways is actually very pleasant, very easy, and yeah, nice fast driving experience. Most of the highways speed limits are between 120 and 140, so nice to go a little bit faster here. But overall, good experience. It's a bit more complicated when you get to little towns where you have narrow streets and trying to find parking, and there you have to try and figure out which side of the road you need to be on, because it really is a free-for-all in terms of you drive where and when you can go. So finding little gaps is challenging, but you kind of get used to it, and you need to just go with confidence, right? So one other thing you need to think about when driving in Turkey is organizing an international driver's permit for yourself before you come. So this will go alongside your regular driver's license and can be organized at an AA in your local country. The police presence in Turkey is quite high, and there are a lot of police controls and driver's license checks, vehicle checks, inspections. So we've been fortunate not to encounter any, but we have seen them going in the opposite directions to us. And when you are pulled over, you would need to show both your driver's permit, your driver's license, and your international driver's permit. So definitely something to organize. The international driver's permit is also needed when you are renting your car. So when we get to the car rental, they ask to see your driver's license and your international permit. Otherwise, they won't give you the car. So it is important to organize this before you come over, and you have to obviously plan ahead and know that you are wanting to rent a car in Turkey.
They're also, you can see here, there are also loads of these service stations all throughout. So as you go through the different provinces, you kind of get like different experiences. So the stretch from Istanbul out towards like Alacati way, and then now today when we're driving from Pamukkale back up to Istanbul, that province is like super well run, and there are loads of e-tolls, which we're not totally sure how much we've racked up with those, but what's really nice is like every few kilometers there's a service station with a toilet, petrol fill up, restaurants. So yeah, it's really easy. You continuously have whatever you need. As you go into like the further down provinces, there are fewer of the service stations, but lots of petrol and stuff.
So another nice thing about driving on the Turkish highways is that it's actually 3 lanes as opposed to 2, which means that things flow a lot faster. So we have the leftmost lane, which is our fast lane and overtaking lane, and trucks are only allowed to be in the right 2 lanes, which means that the left lane is usually just clear and free flowing. So absolutely no traffic, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and I reckon like overall driving in Turkey's just felt a lot easier than we expected it to be, so that's been such a win. Petrol prices are also like really similar to South Africa, so you're paying about 38 to 42 Turkish lira, so around about 22, 23 rand a litre. Yeah, so we've done a whole road trip to a number of different places along the coast, and all in all we've spent about 2,600 rand on petrol, which is really not bad, and the car that we've got is really fuel efficient, so that's been such a win. But yeah, in terms of if you're deciding whether or not you want to rent a car in Turkey, from our experience it's been really easy, it's been really relaxed. There's certain things that you can only do if you've got a car, or it's just easier if you've got your own car. So like the Butterfly Valley viewing point we couldn't have done if we didn't have our own car. When we're staying in Pamukkale now, our accommodation, or any accommodation, is at least a 5-minute drive from the travertines, so you would need to get a transfer or whatever if you didn't have a car. So it's just nice for those sorts of things to be able to have your own car and get yourselves there easily. If you're not going to be